Hey everybody, welcome to La Cocina de Tao. Today I'm making something very delicious. This is tamales. Tamales is typically a holiday dish, so I only eat this about once a year. There's different kinds, different versions of tamales. This is the way I like it. I'm gonna show you my way. It's a lengthy process, but trust me, it's worth it at the end. All right, so go ahead and stay tuned. Alright, so first thing what we're going to do is cook down the pork meat. Traditionally, the traditional tamal is usually with pork or with beef. So I'm using pork, country style pork or pork shoulder. We're going to add some bay leaves. And we're also going to add salt to taste. And we're also going to add some black pepper, okay? It's just pretty simple. We're just going to go ahead and add these few ingredients. Let this come up to boil. And then once it starts boiling, we're going to put a lid partially open and let that simmer on medium low or low heat for about an hour. Alright, so while that's cooking down, I'm going to start cutting up the vegetables for the filling. I'm going to use some potatoes, some carrots, and some jalapenos. Like I said, there's different versions of tamales. You can put whatever kind of fillings you want. But the main thing is just to cut them down in little strips, like I'll show you here in a bit. So yeah, just go ahead and cut up all your vegetables. Potatoes, you don't really need that much. I'm going to make about 24 tamales. That's how much it's going to yield. So I probably only need about 1 or 2 potatoes. Alright, because they're going to be cut up in little strips, and we're only going to add about 3 or so of each of the vegetables into the filling, the tamal. So yeah, it's up to you, however much you want to use, but yeah, so it should look like this. Alright, so next I'm going to cut up the carrots, and I'm using baby carrots because they're much easier than cutting the whole big carrot into little strips. So I'm just gonna cut them halfway, and the ones that are a little bit big, I'll cut them in quarters. So yeah, just go ahead and cut them up like this. Alright, so I'm going to use some jalapenos. This is how it looks like, and just regular jalapenos. Sometimes I couldn't find it, but sometimes they come in strips already cut up in little strips. I couldn't find that in my grocery store, so I just bought these. So I'm just gonna dice these up. Alright, so next I'm going to make the adobo sauce. So I'm going to use about 12 to 14 dried guajillo chili peppers and 4 dried ancho peppers. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and blend these up with some garlic, and I'm also going to fill it up here with a few ladles of the same stock that the pork is cooking in. Alright, so go ahead and blend this up, and we're going to go ahead and put this in a bowl. Alright, so the pork meat is done. It's been about an hour and like 10 minutes or so. And like I said, it was cooking down on low flame and with the lid partially covered. And I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this up. Yeah, I'm going to cut up some onions and some tomatoes for the pork filling. So I'm going to use about 3 of these small tomatoes. They're yellow, not tomatoes, they're onions. I'm going to cut up 3 of these small yellow onions, and they're like in half moon shaped. So I'm just gonna cut them up like this, and then same deal with the tomatoes. I'm not gonna take the seeds out because I want all the juices from the tomato to go into the filling. Alright, so I'm going to use some pork lard, just a little bit here. I'm gonna melt this down, and I'm gonna start frying up all the pork meat and the vegetables. Alright, so I have the flame on high heat, frying it up, and I'm adding a little bit, a couple ladles of the adobo sauce, or salsa. Some people call it salsa adobo, or I don't know, there's different names for it. So I'm gonna add some more of the chicken broth. I mean, not the chicken broth, the pork broth. God, I can't talk today. But yeah, I'm gonna add that in there, enough to cover up the meat, and I'm gonna let this reduce on medium low heat for about 30 minutes. Alright, so I forgot to show, but I did add some salt and pepper. Of course, that's to taste, and it's reduced, as you can see, and it's, like I said, 30 minutes and it's done. Alright, so we're going to put that aside, and now we're going to make the masa, and I'm using, as you can see in the picture, that brand for the tamal masa. So I'm gonna add half of the bag there, and then also I'm going to add some lard, about a cup or two cups of lard, and just mix this up really good. And I'm gonna add the rest of the adobo sauce and just mix it up. And I forgot to show again the salt. Don't forget to add salt, and you're also going to add a tablespoon of baking powder, and just keep putting some ladles of the pork broth and mix up really good. Like I said, there's different versions. The way I made it is a little bit on the thick side. That's just the way I like it. Some people like it more moist, so I would recommend putting more ladles of the pork broth. But yeah, this is the way I like it. As you can see, it's you can put it into your hand, make it into a ball, and it won't stick to your hand. That's exactly what you want. All right, and you can make tortillas with this too. All right, so there's the masa. Alright, so I'm going to make my own steamer. I have a, I believe it's a 16 quart big pot, and I'm going to put a little plate like this, face down, and I'm going to put a second one, same size, face down, and then I'm going to get another little plate and put this face up, right? So that's going to give us enough room to put some water, enough water for it to last the whole time while it's cooking. As you can see, I put some water there. You just want to put it up to the rim of the top plate, and we're just gonna secure this by adding some corn husks and making a little bed so all the tamales can land on. Alright, so quickly I'm just gonna show you my setup here. So I have the filling there, the masa up there. Also I have vegetables down there on the plate, paper plates. And then I have here, I forgot to show, but I have a pot with a lot of hot water and all the corn husks, just letting them soak there for about 10 to 15 minutes. So you can see the water's there, and it's pretty hot, but that's gonna make the corn husks very pliable, and they usually come in bags like this. Alright, so I'm gonna form into a little ball here, kind of like the size of a golf ball, and I have a zip out bag that I cut up. I'm going to make them kind of like if I'm making tortillas. Like I said, there's different versions of tamales. Some people scrape the masa onto the corn husk. I like doing this way better. It's more cleaner in my opinion, but you know, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. So I'm gonna press down with the plate really hard, and then we're just going to unpeel it from the plastic, and we're going to put it onto the corn husk. So you can see it's nicely coming off of there, and we're going to put it onto the corn husk. If I can grab it here. There we go. So go ahead and put it on there. As you can see, it's nice and clean. Very easy, very simple method. I don't have a tortilla presser, so if you don't have one, just do it like with the plate like this. And I'm gonna first put the pork filling, and I'm gonna add some vegetables. You can put as many as you want. I'm gonna add the carrots and also the jalapenos. Some people put olives. I don't like olives on inside tamales for some weird reason, but I do like olives on other things. I don't know, I'm weird like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put like this, and what you want to do is just from the bottom, just go ahead and push that up, and then just fold it, and now we're going to put it on inside the bed here of the corn husks, and just keep repeating that process until you get to you're pretty much done. So I'm gonna show my wife doing it. So same deal, just go ahead and make a little ball, press it down, and then just start adding the fillings. All right, so she's gonna get a corn husk here. Just get one for now, and when you're folding it, and if it rips like it ripped on her here in a bit, you'll see it's okay, don't worry about it. Just get another corn husk and cover it. All right, and you'll see that here in a bit. Alright, so we're done assembling all the tamales. Like I said, it came out to about 24. So we're just going to secure this by adding all the corn husks on here. And man, it got so dark here all of a sudden. It's weird. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and cover it. Let it boil. Once it starts boiling, turn the flame on really low and let it cook for about an hour. You can check in 45 minutes. And if the masa peels off the corn husk easily with no resistance, that means it's done. So you can check in 45 minutes, but mine, it took me an hour. Like I said, there's different versions of tamales. This is the way I like it. I like them a little bit thick, but if you want it more moist, you can add more ladles of the pork broth. Right, so every version is different. This is my version, but I'm showing you a simple way of making tamales, kind of, you know, get an idea on how to make your own tamales in a way. And it's fun. You can get your whole family to get involved. Typically is like in a Mexican household, you know what I mean? All the aunts and uncles. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, so stay tuned. There's gonna be more holiday videos like this of authentic Mexican recipes. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to my channel, y buen provecho.